Hey, what's up everyone? Adam here with brahwegotthis, and today I'm going to help you figure out how the hell you're supposed to level your jewelry crafting in this game and get the traits for the skill and much, much more. I get a lot of questions about this crafting profession, and I thought I would give some insight on how to actually do it and the most effective methods as well. Before we get started, I do want to mention that if you want to watch me play live, I stream on twitch.tv/brahwegotthis every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday starting at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you want to join our growing community of new and veteran players, join our Discord and our guild. The links to all these will be in the description below. Also, make sure to follow me on Instagram and Twitter to stay up to date when I release content and share fashion and occasional memes. Links again are in the description below as well, but let's go ahead and dive into the world of jewelry crafting. So to start off, in order to perform or use the jewelry crafting skill line, you'll need to own Somerset DLC. This is considered a DLC now since it isn't the last expansion released. So you can purchase this either by getting ESO Plus or outright in the Crown Store. If you want to watch my ESO Plus video, I'll link that in the description and in a card in the top right. But once you own Somerset, you can now deconstruct jewelry, make jewelry, and research jewelry. The reason jewelry crafting is so important is because the fact that you can now improve your jewelry's rarity without having to get it as a drop, plus being able to craft sets like Hunting's Rage or basically any other craftable set around the world makes it more viable to find a place in your build for the sets that used to not be able to fit in the build because you couldn't get Hunting's Rage from in jewelry form or anything like that. There are also a lot of crafted sets now that can be slotted in the jewelry crafting spot now, so that is nice. Also, the traits are very useful as well, like Bloodthirsty, which we will get into the traits here in a little bit. So we're going to go into the jewelry crafting skill line as a whole here, and I'm going to go through each of these little sections or parts here that basically every single crafting tree has. So first thing we have again is like the engraver, which is allowing you to use higher material mats. So the highest mat that you can use is platinum. And so when you put points into this, you will be able to eventually use platinum ounces. The next one is keen eye, and that is just like all the other ones. It allows you to see the nodes or the seams in the world, and they'll like light up for you. So you'll be able to see them from farther away the more points you have into this. The next one is jewelry extraction. So you can maximize the chances of extracting jewelry crafting ingredients and allows the refining of more powerful platings from raw materials. So we'll get into that here in a little bit, but basically again, when you refine materials or extract or deconstruct things, you will possibly get better ingredients or get more materials back. Next thing is lapidary research, and this maxed out will reduce your research times by 25% and limits the research time to 30 days. So it's just like all the other ones. And then the next one is plating's expertise. Just like the last one and all the other crafting nodes, you're going to be able to more than double the chances of improving items with platings once you max that out. So that once you do that, it will be the max amount of chance or least amount of materials you'll need to upgrade from like white to green to blue to purple to yellow. Now I want to go over real quick again the priority in putting points into these. And now I know I get a lot of questions about people that ask, are we able to put points into crafting nodes or crafting skill lines? If we're kind of nervous about getting skill points. And so what I always say is, guys, and this is my main character, and I've done basically every quest in the base game and most of the DLC and expansions, as you can see, like my map and all this stuff. I've done a lot of it. And so I would say that like if you do a lot of questing, if you do dungeons and complete the quests in those, you won't have a problem with having enough skill points for crafting skill lines. So this is kind of up to you how you want to do this though. But if you had to prioritize the skill points, you need to put them into engraver, you need to put it into extractor, you need to put it into research. Those are the first three. After that, it is plating's expertise and then keen eye. Keen eye does not matter really until you get later on. I would not put your points into that at first. I'd put engraver, jewelry extraction, lapidary research, plating expertise, then keen eye. Now for the traits of jewelry crafting, we have 3 base traits that were here before jewelry crafting was put into the game, and those are arcane, healthy, and robust. Arcane is increased magicka, healthy is increased max health, and robust is increased max stamina. The trait material that you need for each of these are cobalt for arcane, antimony for healthy, and zinc for robust. These are all given randomly from refining basic materials. Now, in order to receive jewelry with these traits on them, you can receive all of these from random drops throughout all of Tamriel. Now, for the next 6 traits, these are all different, and these are new to the game once they added jewelry crafting in. So let's go down the line here. And the first one we have is Triune, which is increased health, stamina, and magicka. The material used to craft this is Dawn Prism, which is purchasable from War Researches in Cyrodiil. The way you receive the jewelry with this trait on it are from Gladiators' rucksacks from completing Conquest board dailies in Cyrodiil. The next one is Infused. Infused is an increased enchant effect. The trait item you need to craft this is Arubic Amber. I don't know if I said that wrong, but I'm sorry if I did. This is received from Psijic portals that you see throughout the world. And then the way you get this trait on a jewelry item to research it is from Psijic portals as well. Next is Protective. This is increased physical and spell resistance. The trait gem is Titanium, and you get this gem from gathering resources from seams or nodes that you see around the world. And it's also rumored that you get a better chance of getting these in Somerset nodes as well, just to keep in mind. Now, to get this trait for researcher items with this trait, you will get a ring with this trait from completing the Somerset main questline in the zone, and you'll get the necklace from completing the Psijic questline in the Somerset expansion or DLC. If you want to watch my Psijic order guide, I'll link that in the description and at the top of the screen as well. Next is the Swift trait, which is increased non-mounted and movement speed. This trait gem is Gilding Wax, and that is obtainable from buying it from the Master Writ merchants. And again, if you want to watch my Master Writ guide, I just made one, and that link will be in the description and at the top of the screen as well. Now, to get the jewelry for the research purposes for this trait, you can get this from completing daily jewelry crafting writs. Next is the Harmony trait. Harmony is increased synergy effect. This trait gem is Dibellium, which is received from daily dungeon random rewards that you get in the mail. And you get this traded jewelry for research through Undaunted Chests, which again, I have a guide on the Undaunted Guild if you want to check that out in the description as well. The last one is Bloodthirsty, which is increased damage against low health enemies. This trait gem is received from completing weekly trial quests, and in order to receive a piece of jewelry with this trait for research purposes, you will also have a chance to get these from completing weekly trial quests as well. These are the 9 traits of jewelry that you have in the game, and I do want to mention that if you don't want to flirt with RNG, you can always buy the traded items from guild traders, but they usually are pretty pricey. And just depending on the trait, you might spend a decent amount of gold on it. But a lot of people have confusion on where you get a lot of these traits. And so if you actually just hover over here, you can see that it tells you where to get these. And so I hope that clears up a little bit of confusion on this topic. Okay, so let's talk about the refining process real quick with jewelry crafting. It is a little different than all the other crafting professions in the fact that you actually have to refine your upgrade resins in order to get one full resin. So what I mean by that is if like you see right here, if I wanted to upgrade this automaton ring from blue to purple, I would need 3 zircon plating. Okay. So zircon plating, isn't just something that you get all the time. You have to actually combine resources to get that. It's the same with chromium plating, with the blue one, and then with like the green one as well. And so that's where refining comes in. So as you see here, I've got 8 chromium grains. I've got 6 iridium grains. I've got 11 pulverized cobalt, pulverized dibellium, which we'll talk about here in a second. I have 16 ternary grains, if that's how you say that, and then 12 zircon grains. So what happens is, in order to get one upgrade matte or resin, you need to combine 10 of the grains to do that. So watch, if I refine this, I will get 1 turn plating. If I do this zircon grain, I will get 1 zircon plating. And then I don't have 10 chromium grains, so I will not be able to get a chromium plating from that. These right here are materials for traits. So 10 pulverized cobalt will give me a cobalt. Same with pulverized dibellium. And then it's the same with all of these other things. So that is why refining and jewelry crafting is a little different. With, other parts of crafting, you don't necessarily have to refine the materials to get these certain trait gems. Now, some you do, but not all of them. So with, these, again, you have to have 10 of them. And if you have 10 of them, you can refine in order to create, the triune trait you'll need, again, the trait material or the infused trait material or protective. So you have to sometimes refine 10 of those to get those. But sometimes you can get a completed trait item material instead of having to refine it. But this is just one way to do that. But for your upgrade mats, you will need to refine 10 to get one mat. And that is where jewelry crafting is very expensive in that way. Remember that refining upgrade platings will need 10 grains. And then the last thing I want to mention is, again, if you have points into the, extraction and all that stuff, you'll be able to get more of these materials when you deconstruct items, and when you refine things, you might be able to get, better things as well. So you just need to keep that in mind. That is why refining is a little different for jewelry crafting. Now, many people ask me, what is the best way to level jewelry crafting? There are a few things I want to mention when it comes to leveling this skill line, or any other skill line for that matter, when it comes to crafting. First off, if you want to, and you're at least 90 CP, you can put 30 points into the tower tree here and get 20% extra inspiration. This will speed up the time a little bit, but it isn't necessary. But here are some of the most effective and efficient ways to level jewelry crafting, in my opinion. The items that you want to grab are platinum rings and necklaces. These are the highest tier ring and necklace, and so they will give you the most experience, the highest mats back, and will be overall the best ones to do. Now, there are a few ways that you can do this. One is buying these specifically off guild traders or players. Now, I just looked at Tamriel Trade Center and I couldn't find people selling mass quantities of these. So what I recommend is sitting in the Alakir Desert Zone and going into the zone chat or near the dolmens and say that you're buying all jewelry in bulk. There will be a ton of people here that need to get rid of this, since dolmens give jewelry guaranteed every single one. And this is the best place to do dolmens in the game. You'll need to feel out the prices for yourself, but white intricate rings go for about 500 to 1k each on traders, so just work out the prices with the seller. Also, if you can look for the jewelry with the intricate trait, this will give you loads more experience when deconstructing the item. So buy intricate ones from players, buy them from guild traders, or just regular ones as well. The other method is literally doing the dolmens yourself. You will seriously get so many jewels from dolmens, plus you can level in general, and you can level up your fighters guild at the same time. Besides these methods, you need to bank all jewelry you don't want on other characters and deconstruct them as well. There aren't many other ways that are efficient for leveling this line other than purchasing the rings or necklaces or doing the dolmens yourself. But you will get 50 jewelry crafting in no time if you buy these in bulk from the Alakir Dolmen runners. And again, some of these people will be getting green, blue, and purple, and they will just sell them to you, or some people might even just give them to you because they just want to keep leveling. So those will also give more experience the higher the rarity, so just look out for that. Some final tips on jewelry crafting. Jewelry crafting is a very expensive skill when it comes to upgrading your rings and necklaces. So something that I would use as a rule of thumb is never upgrade your jewelry to yellow unless you know 100% that's the set that you want and trait desired on it. Doing this will cost you around 210 to 280k gold per piece. That's insane. Honestly, gold jewelry along with gold armor and weapons don't give you that much of an increase. It is solely for min-maxing and for players that want to be top tier for leaderboard. So I would at max get your jewelry to purple and keep it there for when you are certain that you want to upgrade to gold. Also, if you want purple jewelry drops, you can do dungeons on Vet to get jewelry at purple, or you can do trials on Vet to get purple and gold jewelry as well. It is possible to get purple jewelry on normal trials from the weekly coffers or quests, so I want to mention that. Also, you can buy golded jewelry from the gold vendor in Cyrodiil on the weekends for gold or AP, but again, that is very costly, so keep that in mind. Lastly, jewelry crafting master writs are extremely volatile and not worth it in some cases. Blue writs will get you around 29 vouchers at a cost of 16k total to make the writ, and that's just not too great in my opinion when you do the actual math and look at the actual items you can buy from master writ merchants for just gold on guild traders. Purple ones, however, can net you a benefit in some way, costing you around 96k to complete these You can find some of them for about 202 reward vouchers, which then that will make it a little bit more worth it, and that's a little bit above the curve when it comes to the voucher to gold ratio. But again, you have to really look for these on Guild Traders. Otherwise, most of the purple ones are not worth it as well. And then the gold ones are best to just stay away from, in my opinion, because a lot of them, the ones that I've seen, are less than some of the purple ones. And that's just stupid, because like, why would you do a gold jewelry voucher one that is going to give you 140 vouchers when a purple one gives you 202? You're going to have to spend at least $250K on upgrading that jewelry to gold. So it's not worth it for the most part. So just, you're going to have to kind of pick and choose if you get those master writs, because some of them seriously are just not worth it for the most part. But those are my final tips for the jewelry crafting skill line. I hope that this video helps you all out. I hope that it shed some light on the skill and made it a little easier to understand everything. Again, if you have any questions, you can stop by my Twitch chat on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday on Twitch at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is at twitch.tv/brahwegotthis. Ask away there, as well on our Discord, the Brafia and our guild, the Necrodaddies. The links to all those and the Twitch channels in the description. Also, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter, like I said, if you want to stay up to date as well, and leave a comment if you had any more questions. You can also like, subscribe, and heavy attack that bell icon to stay up to date on when I upload content here in the channel. As always, you all, I love you all. Thank you for all the support, and have faith, be great, and I'll see you on ESO.